I'm here. I don't have much else to say. Hi. Sorry for being a little late. I realized that I'm actually a little hungry. I should have a snack. I should make a snack for myself to have on my desk. Oh, sorry. I blew out the mic there. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry for all of you at home. And if this is your first stream tuning in, I do not usually do that. I promise you that is not normally something I do. How are you all? Yeah. As you all have just heard, I am hungry. So oh wow. Man, this filter is actually really good at taking the crunch noises out of the food. I can be way more cautious with what food I eat. Wow, that's when I stream. That's awesome. Yeah, like nothing's popping up on the old audio track at all. But yeah, we are here with Great Ace Attorney Chronicles once again. We are in the middle of chapter 4. And what else was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, I have had a little, onset of pain or two throughout the day. So there's a chance that I may need to end early, if one comes on again. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to get going. I have a message. Oh. All right, let's get started. Ilunas is also playing Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I believe she just started her stream, so I'm gonna pop over. I'm gonna pop over actually. Where is the following? What? Yeah, we're gonna have a back and forth. Streams at these. All right, so the song's about to end, I believe. So I can actually hear what she has to say. Oh, it was muted. Nah, what's she gonna say? We're really brutal people. Hell yeah, we are. You don't play anything except Ace Attorney. That's fair. That's very fair. All right, have fun. If you come and watch the VOD after, have fun. We have a good time. But we got to get to our part of the game, which is behind yours. So, all right, let's get into it. Okay, I was checking how close to the mic I could eat. Not too close. But I can eat from back where I normally sit. So summation examination. All right, let's see what they have to say. Judicial findings. Ah, yes, Bruce Fairplay. For pity's sake, that little Nepalese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why could it only have been the victim? A man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. Well, let's take a look at our court record. People... You aren't in green. You're in green, but you're a man. Yes, okay. Yeah, you are the victim. Oh, I see. You have a little green detective outfit like Gumshoe. Evidence. Local area. I'm just seeing if there's any reason why. Yeah, there's no reason that we yet know of why they would go around. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. We'll just wrap this up now. I got work to be doing. Your books. Yes, nice shop that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit. So now you're paying attention? And you're just doing it based off of what bookshop is. I feel like, with only minor exceptions, yeah, I wonder... Yeah, like those last two. Come on. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in a green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convince this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Well, I would say one more, again, like, I think, like, you have another witness. I would say give it one more. Just to seal any doubt, like if I was on this jury and didn't know that Ryunosuke Naruhodo was an Ace Attorney protagonist. Is it possible? How can I possibly make a case? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. We gotta turn the case around. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I gotta convince 4 of them. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your submission examination. Oh, right, we have to pit people against each other. That's right. Okay. I was just standing there with his chips. That's kind of what I'm doing, except I don't have chips. I am using the British word. Okay, he admitted it himself. Okay, if he said a woman in green, it could only have been the victim. How dreadful. I've got work to be doing. Can't help feeling that, yeah, some of their opinions are rather, they are subjective. The irrelevance and the, yeah, like those last two. Okay. Some of them don't incriminate him of anything. Yeah. Don't look back. I won't. As soon as I finish this food. So we need a reason why somebody else could have collapsed. He wouldn't have gone around the houses, not in winter. Attacked from behind. Um, you don't care. Hold on. What was number 1 again? He admitted himself. Okay, I am thinking we pit number 2 against number 4 because we were attacked from behind. So it's like, yeah, how, you only saw the coat. That's not a face. That is what I am gonna say. I'm gonna pit against number 2.
Objection.
Hopefully that works.
Hold it.
Okay. Oh well. A banker, don't forget. An educated man. Educated enough to borrow money from a predatory loan shark. I probably shouldn't be saying that. Yeah. All sorts of people fall for this. Fall for that kind of thing. That's real damage being done. Um, wouldn't have gone around the houses. Okay, so you agree that the bookshop that we visited was good. So, man, I having trouble. I'm gonna save. Let's do a okay. Wait, poor one was it's dreadful that she was attacked from behind. Can we? Oh, we can press. I didn't notice we can press. Let's press you, because I want to remind what you're admitting. That's right. I was on the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. I had a feeling I knew your face, or the side of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fusking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You and me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Well, water under the bridge, ha 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 ha. There's also some rumors buzzing about. The police have been badgering me non-stop. If I could turn back the clock... Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. Trying to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Thank goodness. Alright. Yeah, oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. That could only have been the victim. Um, a woman. Well, if he said, yeah. Um. Well. These two are the only ones saying. Well, no, no, they're agreeing. They're agreeing on that. So. Um. Maybe 3 and 1, because 1 is saying, hey, he said it himself, you should trust him. But this guy's saying, I don't know. I'm gonna try this.
Hold it.
Yeah. Oh, well. Maybe I have to, maybe we have to press these two more. His life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't think it's ever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, so is my family's. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. Neither do a wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk, it is. So you're out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? Okay, you were digging up the roads. Ooh, that's right. If I remember rightly, ooh, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. What? Another coincidence. That's right, Mersham Street it was. The madness in Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets. You're number 5. I need you to add that information to your formal statement. What's the point? Can't we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. There we go. Fine, I'll do it then. You were digging up, yeah, from dawn till dusk on the day it happened, so it was still. Yep. This, yeah, that street still had to be dug up. We don't. Let's pit you against you. Music stop. There we go. Hey guys, God's Council, explain yourself. Please don't point. It wasn't me. I swear. What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, you're number 3. Me, sir. What do you mean? Your number 5's words now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. Day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Mersham Street, making it impassable. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Mersham Street and down Briar Road. There we go. Yes, of course. What do you think, sir? Well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? You must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh? You're number 3. You said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes. Lord my judge, sir, if I may. Yes. I don't think in all good conscience that I could say the man's guilty now. That's good. That's good. I feel like just that alone might not be enough to convince people, but again, this is, yeah, all we're doing right now is just getting making possibilities. I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Here we go. 3 more. What about you, sir? Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say. Nice. Right on time. Alright, we gotta find 2 more. Probably starts with pressing that last guy. Yep. Yep. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only, we just identify one more clue or discrepancy. I might be able to tip the balance completely. Physics is looking to try to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal. Thank you, Counsel. On with the summation examination, please. Yes, my lord. Alright. Yeah, let's press you. Sorry, fold it, you say. Fold what? No, what I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there. Oh, wait, no, I can just do the I'm old ones. I was picking out books in there all afternoon. It would have been just before 5 that I left. Daily routine, you see? Same thing every day. I'm old. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh, yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had. What do you mean? Oh? Walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. Well, it's always worse after the snow stops falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road. That's right, I live in Cornpipe. I live in Cornpipe. Yeah! Quickest way for me to get back from your books. Court record. Map. Got it. Okay, so you live probably like here or something. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. Sorry, extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now. Change 2 of the jurors' minds. Okay, we got 2 more to go. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, 2 to the takedown would be helpful. Also, thank you for reminding me, Suzuto, that we need that on screen. You slipped over and knocked yourself clean out. Okay, I see. Well, you are also in green. Alright, let's
Objection.
pit from Kingdom Hearts. No, it's Kid Icarus. Fuck, but that was a good joke. That was unintentionally a very good joke. I'm happy with myself. What are you talking about? Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. Why, whatever do you mean, sir? think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. I'm old. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember, excuse me, is seeing someone appear in front of him along the way. That one in the green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. We are well aware of all of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously. Can we really be sure of that, madam? Why, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard your number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my. My goodness, you mean... That's right. I'm referring, of course, to old man. He's old. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench? That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that. My goodness me. Sorry. He made piss on the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and it's had a pretty good day so far. And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back from his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my. Well now. You idiot, old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming around, then we'd have boxed this off hours ago. That's not how this works. And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What you sign of me? Is it a crime for the, I'm old. Is it a crime for the old to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? Oh? Lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but you'd like to change your leaning, I presume. I do declare that that's Southern, not British. I guess I'll have to change my accent. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well. Slam! As that was kind of out of nowhere, I'm glad I got that slam on time. Slam! Woo! This is just like Inscription. Defamation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The ayes 2, the noes false, and the noes have it. Not guilty, they say, which means we no longer have a consensus. The trial will continue. Objection! Lamau XD, fool. We're gonna see that smashed. Yep, there it goes. It seems careless of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection. I'll need to crush it in disgust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Wow. Wow, okay. Okay, buddy. Come on, just you can sit on down. We have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Also, insulting the jury, probably not the best way to get your verdict. Um, but yeah, but anyways, you're not necessarily looking to. I mean, the verdict doesn't matter so much because the defendants end up dead.
Objection.
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth.
Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir.
That's right. It took the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it.
Now my learned little new friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Well, less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate figure. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
Well, I can't say you're wrong. No, did you see anyone vaulting the gap? Because if what? God, we just asking them.
Did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
Did you see anybody vaulting the gap?
I wouldn't dream of it.
This is the city of Mind the Gap. I know that hasn't been invented yet, but just bear with me.
No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway. We just turned any gentlefolk back when they came.
Kids just jump right over us all the time.
The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town.
Sorry. He is nimble. That is true.
Is that true? Is it? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt on his way back to his lodgings as Natsume walked down Briar Road.
Ugh. Rushed. In a single sentence. Although, this is good. I mean, this is showing why the back and forth of, presenting evidence. You have to build, it's probably, best to hear the cases from both sides. Like, I mean, you have the books there, but you have the gap in the road. But then you also have the books there. You got without all of this, if we had just concluded the trial, we wouldn't have had all of this to go off of when making our decision. Well, I say our jury.
Old man, you could talk. You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? I can't say as if I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Gah!
I mean, yeah, probably, but same goes. Although I probably wouldn't bet as much just knowing Ace Attorney games.
Otter, Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord. You had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve. Why in the world did you not proffer it during the submission examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for.
Ooh, that's a really good burn, honestly. I don't like it. I don't like that you're putting it against us, but it's a good burn.
I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed.
Yeah.
My hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel.
Uh-oh. And Cape's gone.
So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What are you talking about?
My lord.
Oh.
The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand. Granted, Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses. It's next witnesses. Mr. Naruhodo, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. I remember, one of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Zeeks brings to stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Sasuke-san. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing until the very end, until this battle is over. Alright. Come on. Okay, neither of you look the most competent based on Ace Attorney standards. Please state your names and occupations for the court. Excuse me? Constable Roy Beats, sir. Nothing to report on the streets, sir. I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife. I'm not sure he views himself as much of a town hero, but what's the story here? Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. Are you okay, my friend? It was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beats is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? Here, I've heard that before, actually. Indeed, apart from rare days off, our officers stress from 20 miles a day, you know, rep. Patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that meters are true. They're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our street lights. There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I would just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago. Yeah, same here. I mean, that's why I'm a VTuber. It goes without saying, at least its primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. But a London Bobby is a man of honor. And a man of slumber. The day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction. And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beats? That's right, sir, isn't it, Rolly? People Rolly Beats, sir. Nothing to report on the streets, sir. What a great witness he's gonna be. Yeah, I think we kind of need these witnesses. We need one of these witnesses disqualified. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You'll tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir. And there he goes. What the witnesses saw. The wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something off before running. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him clear as day. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony. It is. That is true. Lisa and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, then the alternative course of events will be quashed. It's definite, in fact, because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate bechancing, and on your wedding anniversary too. Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Indeed, however, the cross-examination will be over in minutes. He He may very well have time to rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused of Mr. Soseki Natsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. You appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking. Yeah, we'll see.
Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. All right, here we go. Taking me out for a meal. No time to change after work. Two silhouettes appeared out of the fog. One of them is collapsed on the floor. The other scattered something before running off. All right, all right.
Hold it!
What's that? Scattered something? What do you mean by that?
I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time, but then when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling? What? Oh, yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see. Old books.
Yes, sir, the culprit had dropped a number of them around where the victim lay on the pavement.
Indeed, as clearly pictured in this photographic print.
Rotten.
Ugh.
Is that when he did the deed? Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. We saw him. It was the man in the dog without question, sir. The mustache, the hunchback, black eyes, the taut mouth, the stub nose.
Everything. Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down that poor defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes, and suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. It seems as though they're telling the truth here.
May I remind the court, this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please continue.
Yes, sir. All right. Help in nearby police box. Okay, yeah, let's press this. You wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
You absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight. The light from the street lamps was more than enough.
My husband already told you. Also, you shouldn't be treating him like that. Yes, and what of the fog?
Famous for it across the globe, I believe. It's an absolute menace of us to those of us who have to live with it, of course. Oh, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see that hand at the end of your own arm.
All right, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? Yeah, that's better.
Makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why I can tell you for sure and certain is that little Japanese man, can't we? What? Yes, it was the accused, no mistake.
Okay, same thing. Okay.
Snubnall's unmistakable, sir.
There can't be any question. Okay, it was... Okay, so that's not the deal that we're questioning. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like they saw what they saw, but... ... Where does it leave us? They're sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. You know, if Kiryu-chan were here, what are you trying to say? I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else. Yep. Seeing this Natsume is unequivocal. Calling down the question won't help. But if you can identify some other part of the testimony, you might be able to discredit them. Alright, let's take a look. Let us take a look. Come on, come on. Um. Yeah, this was the next one I wanted to press. Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I'm the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling? What? Yes, that's right. I asked Mrs. Beat to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. So I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box?
Depends on the crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat, so I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it. I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together. And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens. Oh, please, you're making us blush, isn't he, darling?
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we? Let's take a look at... Yeah, I don't think we found anything yet. Let's say... Yeah, let's take a look at the two silhouettes.
Right, they were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. There's a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man.
That does sound exactly like the victim and Mr. Natsume. Yeah, unfortunately it does.
And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby? Quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There's nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling? What? Yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight. You can see a fairly long way down. And there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians. Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please. Are you quite sure of what you just said? Yes, sir. As a copper spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets, I'd swear to it, sir. I'm as sure as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat. Oh, Ronnie.
They're still maintaining there's no one else around other than the victim and the attacker.
It seems like there's nowhere to run.
That didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it?
I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident.
Alright, well that leaves us with only one more.
Hold it!
No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rolly looks ever so handsome. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling? What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Yeah, it really is.
I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Yeah, that's... yep.
That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest. I had to spend the whole day on my feet. Policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end. Ooh. Ooh, new evidence, essentially. My work card, sir. Proof I'm a London copper. There's noble founding principles of force written in it as a reminder to us policemen of our sworn duty to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. And for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble, because I know that the plodding in my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold. If a little over the top, perhaps. And then, can't you describe what happened next? Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something? Yes, of course, what is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony, is that right? Is it? Well, out with it. What? No. Oh, no, it's really not that at all. I asked him as a policeman, remember, and I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I can tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. That would help. It's 8 question how reliable my testimony is. That won't do, Mrs. Beat. No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will. I really didn't mean to call defense. Please put your husband's fist down. He's got that... Ryunosuke's got that look to him where, when Kai's upset about people wishing him happy birthday or calling him foot streamer or whatever. You'd like the opportunity to supplement your testimony. Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? All right, let's press it. And what were they? Come on, out with it. Here's at the nearby secondhand bookshop. After I'd been in the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I am a proud policeman's wife. I did it for Oli. And what was your husband doing at the time? He was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. Aw, man. Looks ever so hard, you know, ever so hard, don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Well, Mrs. Beat, seeing as you've regaled the course with tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed? I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was The Picture of Monsieur Somebody or Other and What's It Yearnings. Then there was, A Meal for Someone. The last one is definitely the thingamies something. And then we have, Amelia, Canterbury Yearnings. But that's one more than what we have. See, there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory. Oh, well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure. There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it. Well, what did I tell you? Well, I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling? Anyone upset and says my Patricia want me to answer to? Oh boy. He got a gun. And that terrifying. Yeah. Yes, she really is. That's their entire testimony. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Hate to admit it. Yeah, they saw what they said they saw. I think that's true. Yeah, we've gotta...
Come on. Gonna save right here and present. E.
Objection.
R. So, you're saying that there were 4 books? I remember all of them.
I didn't even realize that there are only 4.
The thing becoming something.
It might do an Ace Attorney and ask what is the book. The picture, a meal, and yearnings. Picture, a meal, the thingamy is something. The thingamy. I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. There's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what flaw?
Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there are only 3 books, not 4.
What?
This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books.
Your books?
Yes, and the details of Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you, 4 dirty old books.
Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books.
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there, I swear it, I saw them.
No, madam, I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. Only Joneses can. The deductions that come from them, though, oh boy. So it cannot be denied. And though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, no!
Objection.
Boom. Boom. Oh, he's doing the anime pose. Oh, he knows. He knows. You got something up there.
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend.
What?
What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. The fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
He sees right through me.
But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. The policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony, in every respect. Oh, you see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene at Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
But what about the photographic print? It only shows us 3.
Right, only 3 can be seen in that print.
That print? You mean to say... Boom!
Allow me to present another, one that shows the victim's hand.
Oh. Oh, the lion's pride. Oh, and it's burned. Oh. Oh, baby. This could actually put us in a spot of trouble now because it showed that, they were right at the residence. And yeah, I wonder what your number 4's reaction is gonna be. It's the 4th book. You will observe. But wait, no. It's the thin something. She said it was the thingy something.
Hidden from view.
Well, it did start with the, but still, no. Oh, their scars are literally connected together. Okay, I didn't notice that before.
You see, look at that. Look.
Yes.
It's just like I said, isn't it, darling?
Yes,
Sir, Patricia's always right, sir. Let's study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please. Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other. The picture of Monsieur Big. What's the yearnings? Canterbury yearnings. A meal for someone. A meal for Gaborio, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Okay, buddy. Powers of recollection can always be described as exceptional, better than a certain detectives. The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir, flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there are only 3 books on the receipt. Mrs. Beat mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the 4th book is that which is shown in the photographic print. I'm sorry, Counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
Oh, wait a second.
Is the maid? Hold on.
This is gonna seem like a crackpot theory, but is the maid actually a poser? Is the maid a poser and this woman was actually John's wife? Hold on, let me see. Let me look at the court record. People. Yeah, unknown age. Unknown age. I did remark in the I did remark when we were doing our powers of deduction, our logic and reasoning spectacular that wasn't so spectacular because Sholmes always screws it up. That it looks like he was like. It looks like that it might have been a photo with John and a baby. So, what about that? Huh? Or maybe it's just a crackpot theory. We'll see. Victim was holding her own book. I wonder what became of that 4th book. Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. Wait, no, it's not burned. That... we have moved it to the back. You'll submit that in the aforementioned photographic print to the court, please. My pleasure, my lord. Been entered. 4th book. Okay, we gotta take a look at the back. The prosecution rests. Now we've gotta look at this photo back. Ah, shit. Okay. Okay, it is the same one. The book has been badly burnt. You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages. What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. That it did. Book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? Got it. Okay. Well, so much for that part of it. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend, but your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer routes the accused's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile? I waltzed right into this, didn't I? You see, everything we just said is true. Isn't that right, my darling? Yes, Pat. Yeah, marry me, Pat. They're already, unless
So perhaps they'd like to reconsider should the court waste any more time on this travesty. Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already?
He's good. I'll give him that.
You have heard all the witnesses, seen all the evidence.
This trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do you do? What do we do now? Hold on, let's save. We are definitely gonna raise an objection because they are definitely gonna go guilty if we don't raise an objection now. And we don't have any more summations up our sleeve.
Objection.
I'm not done yet. Hey, Fairy, welcome on in. How are ya? How you doing?
No, my learned friend, it's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate.
I'm okay. How you going? I'm doing okay as well. I am doing okay. Might be over as far as you're concerned, but can't think of what to say. We have a specific burned book from a certain thing that you may or may not remember that is going to impact this trial in just a second now.
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh.
I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you'll have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Mr. Naruhodo. One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you about them.
Go ahead, Miss Susato, please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished. See. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Yep.
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, we already did.
It might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment.
So Fairy, if you're still here, what do you remember from the last time we were here? Just so I could catch you up.
Be sure to ask to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why, so you must take the opportunity to examine it as thoroughly as possible.
Yep. Yeah, we did. We're good.
Since the sun has managed to win its one last chance, I can't let it go to waste.
The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Very well.
Oh, sorry, that's the judge. That's not Von Zeeks.
One further piece of evidence. And so apparently offers a profound insight into this case.
All right, let's present the fourth book. The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic frame of the crime scene. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Yes, my lord. It's, Naruhodo. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means it may very well be on the right track. I think you might be right.
Yeah, we know. He knows that there's a burned hole in the back because he was holding it.
Where is the vital clue?
Oh, hey.
Got it.
I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. Back? What do you... Good gracious. It's been burnt to a crisp. So we have to ask ourselves why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It's undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to be doing.
Objection.
That it is. Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my nip on these friend? Oh. Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there's nothing to discuss. So should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day, pray do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide? Charred book. There is just one possibility here, which I can't bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but it's an ace attorney game. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer. Explain it. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage?
The shop that sold it, its owner, its content. Its owner is probably, because its content is the Lion's Pride. There wasn't a sale. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon, but we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor. After all, it's obviously hers. The question of how this book came to be in this victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers. What could you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise, but do remember, the members of the jury may very well burn you if a little gamble goes awry. Oh, it won't, because they definitely know. To tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book? Mr. John H. Lyon himself. Answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owned the house where the defendant had his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garridev. Landlord. And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today, is none other than Mrs. Garridev herself. Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garridev's wife. I'm his maid. Ooh. This would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Babe, you know, that's the thing I'm thinking. How about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garridev's house? I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection.
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say. You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Actions are unforgivable.
This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garridev's house. Good lord, what sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. Right aside it was, happened in the blink of an eye. The whole place filled with smoke, couldn't see a bloody thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bloody finishes started going up as well. Worst of it is I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. Lion's Pride. By Jove, the very same title as the subject of this debate. Oh dear.
Objection.
This is risible. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire, in which case it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garadeb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garadeb even amid the flames. Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly? You've been trying the whole time. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. I beg to differ. One of my favorite old novels in that case. As soon as the fire got hold of him, that was it. Up in smoke. And the wife started hurling things at me. There was I back up against the window of the heavy enemy fire, incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and coincidentally at the scene of the crime? Oh, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. There is no report of the window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garadeb household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time and not even remotely? Let's not forget the season and the chilling weather. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Ugh. The defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, Counsel. Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garadeb's wife? I don't think the window was broken when we investigated it. I don't think it would have been open, so I don't think it's. I'm not sure it's that, but I believe it's a possibility, my lord. It's enough. I'm assuming that. Oh, it's not. It's quite enough. Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward, a mean coward. Really? Claiming that little tips that the whole neighborhood are like, honestly, implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, got any of it. All you've done is soil your family's name. I assure you that was never my intention. Dragging an outstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable. Tilray. Here we go. How long have we sat here now listening to this Nebony spouting his fancy foreign theories? Yeah, okay, the two people who've experienced us like interrogating them or whatever. Think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the moustache. And he ran away from the scene too. To declare you're right. It's true. Yes, what did I tell you? Makes sense to me. Sorry, what's that? Come on, old man. It would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... Oh, damn! If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time. What, no forgiveness discourtesy this time? Good point. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions.
Guilty.
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 Guilty. Guilty.
Oh, I pressed the stance thing instead of the... Sorry about that. I assume we don't get a second chance. Unambiguous response.
It's twice now. It's over. Don't give up. Suzuka? Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting... Okay, so we can do it again. You have a right to another summation examination. You can still convince them to change their minds. You have one more chance. My lord, defense has to exercise its right to a summation examination. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve? I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. All right, let's see it. To be continued. Yeah, let's do the summation examination. Let's do that. Let's do that, and then we'll end for the day. Consider the defense counsel's request for a further summation examination. I determined that the court must uphold the judicial right. All right, let's do it. Let's go. The grounds on which you find a defendant guilty. All right. Judicial findings. The accused was behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. Some novel, alternative explanation I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related if the window is closed, can it? Definitely me, it was only a little book. Hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit. I just won't get this over with. If I don't bring home some pie tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble. Come to think of it, we had a fight at home a while ago. Gave me the sneezes. It's considerably more tangible argument. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's... With one notable exception, of course. My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness's testimony, so the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene, and moreover... no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. If the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as though the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. Alright, we gotta break that stone with the power of 1,000 rivers. We need to find... yeah, we need to find another tangible explanation. Yeah, who stabbed the woman and how? Okay. You give us a name and a method. There I was, thinking this might be hard. We have to do it. Alright, guess it's gotta be John. We gotta pin it on John. Proceed with the summation examination, please. Say, presume you're prepared. Well, as prepared as we can be. Focus your mind now. Clearly, the key to the summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say Mrs. Garadep. We have a book that disappeared from the house, and the 4th book found in the victim's hand. There must be a way to link the two. Alright, let's go. Ooh, keep an eye on how she reacts even to the things other people say. Okay. I will. It's a good tip. Rebuttal time. Yeah, let's go to 5 and 6 again. Actually, let's just go to 6 so we ignore the thing. Press. Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability? Sorry, I'm old. What's that? You have to speak up. I'm old. Can you tell us more about that fire? It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles at the top, it did. What a sight to behold it was. Put candles on a cake? Was it some kind of devil worship? Oh, wow. It was that angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously. Seems it's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo. Anyway, I mustered all my old puff to blow them all out. Well, I must have blown it wrong somehow. They didn't go out, but candles went flying all over the room. Oh, boy. It filled up with smoke.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me, oh boy.
And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold, but how do you catch a cold from a fire? What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it. The windows? When air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did.
That's actually a very good point to clear out the fire.
Possible for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry.
I knew it was devil worship. Yep, something about it. Yep. Put it in the testimony. Could have, yeah. A lot of them seem convinced they're right. Yeah. I don't need to find contradictions between their assertions. Such a connection might do the trick. All right. Yep, okay, here we go. We're gonna pit you against you. And pit. These two jurors' statements clearly contradict one another. They do. Aw, dang it. But juror number 3, do you see?
Oh, me? See what, sir?
Did you hear juror number 6? Oh, okay, it is right, okay. It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter.
Well, yes, of course, it is an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, you'd be mad not to open the...
Oh. Exactly. Ergo, fuck you. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there is a fire in the Gyaradev household. And Mr. Gyaradev had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke.
Oh my.
Oh, my hat.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? Mrs. Gyaradev.
Oh, dearie me. What's the meaning of this? How dare you imply who I'm hiding who I really am?
It's imperative you confirm something for the court, so please, it's time to drop the pretense now.
What is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
What? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if we did?
Oh.
Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was...
Hey, husband. Oh, she admitted. Bam.
That'd have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering.
Even though your house was on fire.
Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise.
Of course, I should have realized. That's totally normal. We're so normal here. We're so normal in the Gyaradev household. So normal. All right. Window was open at the time.
I've clean forgotten, but it's true.
Could have been open. All right. Let's see what this guy has to say. You just want to get this over with. When you sit there and say something like that, a man's future's at stake here. Like I said before. I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some readies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down the Thames tomorrow morning. You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know. She can be fierce, believe you me. Not a shining example of marital bliss, then. Popped up the other day. It was, well... You know, it's funny, but I can't quite remember. Sorry? It was too frightening, that's the thing. I must have blocked it out. Helpful. I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by a scarf. Don't even go there, Miss Susato. Must have been some way to jog his memory about this. Okay. Is it possible to do hit you against you now that we know that it's true?
Objection. Hold it.
Okay, no. Okay, save. Yes.
Hold it.
Alright. But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's the part I have a problem with. Sorry? Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? And she got fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said? That's not exactly how I put it, no. Well, anyway, the point is, the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened. I think that's what you call a strong alibi. So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Nipponese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what all this palaver's about. It's a done deal, isn't it? Uh-oh. Not good. You know what? You're sort of going on a little bit, so maybe we can get something. Such a oh my, such a lie in your face. I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think, I'm a very modern, metropolitan, and rational young woman. That's great. If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking. And not at all extreme. An overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. Not 1 or 2 minor postments, I do declare the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say? Overwhelmingly. But us modern gals are delighted to embrace new fads, so I'd only be too happy to consider a new theory. If only I could. Do our very best. Glad you admitted rational there. Okay, it's definitely a possibility. We've already pressed Q. Let's press you directly. 4th book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. Same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadev told us he had been reading. Well, I really couldn't say. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride? I did. Ooh. It was the first thing I saw, so I hurled it straight at him. Now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? Whoa, and he's slapping the other guy. Because I couldn't, you insolent little man, I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on. I really don't know what you're saying. Oh, I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it. All right. What is it, juror number 5?
You know something? I've remembered what it was, that memory I blocked out.
Ah,
It was listening to what this granny was saying, brought it all flooding back. Don't, Granny, you cheeky devil! I'm Mrs. Garrett, or the maid, I'll have you know.
man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time.
It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, like. I put my hand in the pocket for the wages I just earned that day, and I nearly died. There's a hole. Every last penny dropped out.
Oh dear. Oh, what a disaster.
Haven't heard the half of it, boy.
Oh?
The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost a day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did, about an inch deep.
No words, just terror.
I could smell it then, you know, that god-awful stench of the Thames. I'm sure I was gonna end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I could tell you. And that's a real disaster, isn't it?
Never use the word lightly again.
The point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hassles, hammers, you name it.
You mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined.
I wasn't thinking that.
Throwing household objects at people, it's so uncivilized. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like. Attack? Who are you going to attack? Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. We'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later. And your plots. Throw almost anything at you. Kitchen knife really brought that home to me. Ooh, okay, maybe... I mean, these aren't necessarily disagreeing. I feel like you're the very end. The throwing a knife, though. Music stop, that's good. These two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection.
If you mean they don't contradict each other,
Explain, counsel, at once. Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative?
oh my, whatever do you mean?
An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back.
What are you talking about?
We've demonstrated that the 4th book, The Lion's Pride, that was found at the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garadeb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garadeb household to the street below.
What's that now?
After all, Mrs. Garadeb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4?
What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole?
Beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps he's had a feeling this might be what happened.
You listen here, you Eastern Gala. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what?
What was it? So was there like another, was Olive like in the residence and then the window was open and she just fell all the way, but wouldn't you get like broken bones? Let's take a look at the court record. Yeah, following a stab wound, yeah. I mean, there's nothing about any broken bones or anything. That would definitely be impact. I'm taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make. I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least, this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way to the Garadeb household to the scene of the crime was a knife.
Take that!
Juror number 4, Mrs. Garrett. What now? I must apologize in advance for this, but I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before? Ah! Good lord, counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged into the victim's back, man.
Hey, I didn't see us on the other side. We just disappeared. Oh wait, no, we're standing over here. Never mind.
Remember that the victim was attacked? Mr. and Mrs. Garrett were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrett was hurling anything she could at her husband, who had been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. You can't seriously believe that. The book was found in the victim's grasp. You saying that it flew out the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? Even my missus hasn't got aim like that.
It could get better, though. His wife's aim could get better. Get it? You get it? Because marriage is terrible. So stupid. Such a stupid reference. I admit, there are many details we don't yet understand. But that's the point. That's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end. Not right now.
Oh my.
Good. Mrs. Garrett, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? Done. The old man's expression, that's hilarious.
Lord, I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word after all.
Thank you, madam. Yes, I agree. Ooh, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now with so many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman.
I have to agree. Not that I think the grand didn't mind. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
All together now, ladies and gents.
Slam! 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 Slam!
Woo! Congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo.
So, as a result of the defense's submission examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion is divided, and this trial will continue. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
I would actually like to proceed for a little bit more, but first, I'm gonna look at the strategy guide for Grade A's attorney just to see how many chapters are subchapters are left in this trial. Because I would rather we're in trial part 2. Also, please before. Okay, yeah, we have quite a bit left. We have quite a bit of this trial left. So,
It's rapidly descending into a farce.
I think, yeah, let's see the witnesses. We might go one. Let's see.
Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough.
Sneeze coming. Be right back. There we go. Ugh, it's one of those sneezes that makes your stomach contract a little.
But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter.
Fine, my Lord Van Zeeks. The defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened.
Credible? Is that your considered opinion? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting.
that you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garadeb household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means that the distance from the Garadeb's house to the scene is 15 yards. Let me see, 15 yards. It's around 14 meters. 14 meters? That's a little farther than I'd imagined. And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having potential significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book wantonly hurled by the lady of the house traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the clasped victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories, like those featuring Mr. Sherlock Holmes and his terrible stories, have more believable plots. Ugh. There's nothing I can say to that. That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice. Yeah, he does. Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare you? Maybe let's pick our battles here. My lord, might I be allowed to speak? Judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense. Yes, go ahead. Prosecution may consider the idea of fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning, and as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadeb, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination. Saints alive, cross-examination of a juror. Order. Well, this is highly irregular. It's unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
Woo! And unnecessary. Lord Van Zeeks. There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory is any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. Sorry. I forgot they were still there. And we must assume they'd be able to testify. What say you, witnesses? Yes, sir. Constable Royally Beat reporting for duty, sir. Well, good morning, officer. Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir. Oh, they're so heroic, those London bobbies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Rolly, my hero, you make me swoon. Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request. Oh, and order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court details any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation. Yes, sir. You know, yeah, we'll do this one. We'll do this one and then we'll call it. This has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. Believe me, a London Bobby's good for his word. You see, sir, on the top windows on the top floor of the Garadeb house are top hinged casements. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Can we go back to your earlier testimony where you said, you know, you found him asleep? Top hinged casement windows. That detail is not in the police report, Constable.
Yes, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy. You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness
Every time. It seems like this is a common occurrence for him. Sorry, but what exactly is a top hinged casement window?
And you cannot excuse your ignorance of such trite remarks, my learned friend.
Of course. Sorry.
Found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garadev's room. The window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house.
But as the top hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge. That might be a problem.
I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount. It prevents it opening. This is all news to me. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or a knife were to have been thrown through the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below. No. You see the problem, then? Good.
Your education in windows is complete. There is never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road.
That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already. That can't be! The young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Oh yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me. Oh, Rolly is so strong.
How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed. Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, Counsel awaits a cross-examination. My lord? Oh, good. Another desperate situation. Cross-examination time! Alrighty.
Hold it!
How can you say that for certain?
Very good question, sir. And the answer is this. As the noble founding principles of the Force.
Yeah, he showed us that before, didn't he?
Did he?
I can't say I remember. Well, I do, he did.
Patrol the streets of London town to uphold the peace of the common man. That's what the job's all about.
That's why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly. Sir?
Oh, Rolly, you're so manly.
Of course I am, my darling Patricia.
None of this is what I meant. I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett? You see, sir, you should have said so earlier, sir.
Yes, well...
So could you answer the question?
That was a waste of time, then.
Absolutely, sir. I'll answer to the fullest of my abilities, sir. There's a surprising reason why the dispute can't be related, sir. Before I get into that, sir, just one thing.
Yes?
I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. I hope we'll take back some tales of us London bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles.
Wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here.
To that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card, but I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears.
I'll try. Okay, let's take a look.
Hold it!
Oh, dang it. You know, let's listen to this first. They don't open fully. Allowing a bit of air through the house. Yeah, it would clang and go straight down. There's the location.
Directly opposite the scene of the crime. Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top hinged casement thing before?
I have another question for you, Constable.
Would that be?
How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows they're furnished with?
That's very simple. I helped with the investigation yesterday.
Oh, glad we did this.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat? You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that?
Oh, I was just remembering. That's all. We really were so lucky.
Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. We were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rolly's Beat. It was so close, you see.
Oh, I hadn't realized.
Oh yes, that street, Briar Road. That's the boundary between Rolly's Beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love?
Bum, bum, bum. Constable Beat.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Garadeb household yesterday. The house is on my beat, you see, sir.
Really was cutting it close then.
Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. The Garadeb household is on your beat. Does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? Outside Mr. Garadeb's house. Yes, ma'am. Pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat.
I see. I was unaware of that.
Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we'd never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a Bobby, after all. Extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. You know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it.
I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record. Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. Alright. Pavement where is found, the victim was found just outside of the beat.
My turn!
Okay, now let's take a look through. Examine. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat, 20 miles around his beat every day. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they were discovered. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. So, are we saying that we need to find it on, like, ask where the body was initially found? We would have seen it. I definitely want to press you.
Nothing to report.
That's correct, sir. My eyes wide open. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene. Nothing was removed. I can swear that the yard's on it. Seems a little strange. Burnt copy of the Lion's Pride was originally in the household. This question remains: how did it find its way to the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that?
Could it be a different copy, sir?
Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder.
Well, sir, it was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived.
Is that so?
There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me.
The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how the book ended up in her hand, there must be some common thread.
Can I ask you something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell.
What? I wasn't really, I mean, what's she doing?
Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting I doubted you. No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard.
All right, she's gonna speak again. She's gonna unleash a some sort of contradiction.
Watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but Rolly won't.
Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue.
What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. I sense the direction is a little off sometimes, though.
Okay, let's press this because it's new. Nobody's questioning what you've told us.
I saw what I did. I saw clearly. But I was thinking away from the scene. I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming bolts or knives flying through the sky.
All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction.
Oh, yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up in the wrong place when I made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross.
All right, let's see what he has to say. Constable Beat, is there a problem?
No, sir. No problem, sir.
Did your wife's remarks just now bring something to mind, perhaps?
Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening, is all.
You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident?
Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine. She was gone a fair bit longer than when I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Rolly is such a tease. The reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly.
The bouquet?
Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds.
How romantic.
I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Have you, my darling? Yes, but that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh.
What was that all about? He was very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight. I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please.
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to.
Was it actually found on the other side of the body actually found on his side of the street, then? I dropped my bouquet, ended up losing your way for a while. Alright, let's hear more. This is gonna be really long. You dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime.
That's right. Oh, I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice any at first.
Then you went to the police box to report it.
Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable. That's when I spotted my bouquet again, but the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. Case in need reminding, Mrs. Pete, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling from the other side of the road.
Your husband, presumably.
That's right. Silly me, I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although, I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. Can't think how it got there, I really can't.
Yes, the scene was moved. Yeah, did Rolly just move it?
It did, but the worst of it is I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose worldly bought me with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting. By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this sorry solitary rose? Oh, yes, that's it. That's the bouquet he bought me with all bits of change.
Maybe just call it a rose.
It's a little fancy. Where do you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household.
In front of the Garadeb's house?
So it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side. You have it back now, please.
No, I think for good measure this rose should be added to the court record as evidence. Interesting.
It's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back. Good grief. Rest assured, I shall do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beats.
Alright, let's go. Yeah, let's definitely save. Now the question is, what do we... nothing was disturbed. That's it. That's the line in question. I knew there was one. Well, now it's D. But it was disturbed. The evidence, the piece of evidence, he was disturbed. He was left back. He was left back. Is there another one? Oh, is it the... could it also be this because he's not required to be on the scene?
Objection.
Okay. Guilty time, guilty time. It's time for us to be guilty. Or I guess not us, Mr. Natsume, with all those alliterations. No further examination. Here it comes.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Bang. All right, let's resume a save game. Because I doubt that it's gonna... I feel like it might make us go through all that again. You didn't take you guys out the... yeah, well then, yeah, we'll try the same things. I feel we try the same things, on this statement.
Objection.
Okay, there we go.
You claim, Constable Beat, there is nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you're guarding the scene.
That cannot be. And he's feigning sleepiness again. I'm kidding.
Your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby. Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described. No doubt it was blown in the wind across the street, back into the gutter where it belongs. Meager? But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify testify to the fact. Blech. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It had nothing to do with the case. That's why Roy didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way round. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garadeb's book. Mr. Garadeb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife. Would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here, on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here, on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. Now this is, I don't know what picture this is painting. Are we still saying it's like, and I don't think we're saying it's a complete accident that like the knife just happened to fall and plunge into her back. She would have already had to have been face down. There's no logical explanation. Unless somebody deliberately moved them. Yeah, that's why the deliberate moving is probably why. Yeah, why I'm thinking that there is deliberate action at play. What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly's done something wrong. Don't you listen to what a word that karate lawyer says? We don't know about books and bouquets. Why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is. Oh, good. Mrs. Garadeb's come round. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garadeb, but deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it. For a very subtle but compelling reason. Tampering? You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend. Who would possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? There is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence and all the testimony points to one particular person. So I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime? Well, it's got to be one of two people. If it's not Rolly, if it's not our good friend Rolly here, who was supposedly on duty, then it's Mr. Garadeb.
Take that!
But obviously there's only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly Beat, it was you. Police member of Scotland Yard. What nonsense! Why would my Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter up. Okay. Please don't tell me you're homophobic. That would, yeah, in that case, I want to see you out of the courtroom as soon as we have enough testimony from you to ensure Natsume's innocence. Mrs. B, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it. You're making it up. It's all nonsense, all lies. What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it. That was true. Constable Beat would have seen him do it. Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Oh, well. First you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations was lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with. There's only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime: to hide something. That's right, he's right. My husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make sense. You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering, and until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. Constable Beat had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair. Mr. Naruto, have you managed to solve this mystery? Counsel, you've made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive. Yes, my lord. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide where the book fell, where the bouquet fell, where the victim fell. We already know where the victim book. I would say, yeah. I mean, it's gotta be. I feel like it's gotta be victim because, you know, I feel like, yeah, on the other side of the street. I feel like the whole thing was swapped the other way around. That's my feeling. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you. On the pavement of Briar Road. Yeah, yep. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt, because it's on the... Certainly what everybody has been led to believe, but in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all. What? What? It's on the other side of the road. The other side of the road, other side of the road. Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place? Right here, right here. That's on the opposite side. A snakehead in the head on the opposite side. On the evening in question, Mr. Garadev's book fell directly down from the open window above, and your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, never moved at all. What did move? Whoopah! Was the scene of the crime itself. Gracious.
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There's the typical London fog on the ground. When he saw the incident and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road. It's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all of the things shown in this print. The victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary. But the constable overlooked one thing. What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume? Exactly. Prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Seek said it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously. Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position, on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond, Constable Rolly Beat? Oh, come on. Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Rolly, it isn't true, is it? What that lawyer said is all lies. I know it is, because he's the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream, a terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything come out. Everything exposed. Yup. Only it seems it wasn't a dream at all. Bum, bum, bum. Too bad, so sad. I don't know if there's the meaning of all this. Only why? Why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one too, yeah. Explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London town. I can't say, sir. What? I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation. For everything. I have a possible explanation. Yep. For why on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? How could you possibly know? Well, I think just wanting to spend time with his wife. Your fancy is this foreigner who's uncovered the startling truth of the matter, yup. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. If you please. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan, makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions, yup. Which gives away the motive. Yeah, which does indeed give away the motives. It is right in here. I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, and I've only just arrived from Japan, which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that, though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. Keeping the peace, looking after the citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord. Oh yes, it was our very first wedding anniversary. Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal. When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road. When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through the man's mind? But sir, just on that particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. He puts up with a lot being married being married to a Bobby like me. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, policemen must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Aha! Constable Beat. Is that or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Yes. Everything you said. It's alright. That's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat. Oh, exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. Good gracious, Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you've done? It's the first time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. Sorry, that criminal could still be lurking somewhere. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. We've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, but the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Why here? Why did this have to happen here? And why tonight of all nights? Why? It's Papa's job to guard the scene of the crime, so I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then, when I opened my mouth to speak, it just Came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my own mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. See, I have to go to the police box that covers it, turn right along Meerschaum Street, and then...
Well, that unfortunately means the gap can be covered. That she did have to do that, but... that is one unfortunate part for our defense. It is just a whole unfortunate scenario in general. Aww. I'm... Aww. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. I just wanted that one night to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night. You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene out of your jurisdiction. Just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care. You see, I thought, well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see. I beg your pardon? Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would have never left the poor woman. Ah, I see a meaning now. But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I never should have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly. And can you tell us, Constable, how many books did you move from the one side of the road to the other in total? Oh, 4 it was. Yes, sir. Definitely 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs, of course. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand, when all the others were scattered haphazardly around? Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. How you found it? What do you mean? When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. Hey, Denge. Welcome on in. We're just about to end. So it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding. Oh, yes, sir. No doubts about it, sir. Interesting. It's been updated in the court record. I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, see. There were only the 2 people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you looked at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who'd done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. My lord. Yes, Lord Van Zeeks? I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. And with that, and with that, that is where we are going to put this adventure at a hold for the night. All right, let's see. Who are we gonna raid? Thank you all for coming. So sorry that we barely got the chance to lurk, Denge. Let's find somebody. Let's see. There are other people playing the game. Ooh, okay. Let's do. Okay. There are a couple of other people playing. Yeah, or we could say hi to Word. Let's see who's playing. Let's think. This is Grades 30. Yes, case number 3. Okay, cool. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just checking to see. Oh, these people are in a call. Let's go raid the people in call. Torrent Dragon is gonna be our raid. Playing great. Yeah, I'm liking the vibes already. We're gonna raid Torrent Dragon. Thank you all so very much for being here. We'll see you. Oh yeah, next stream is gonna be tied to holidays. Hell yeah. Uh, uh, yeah. Next one will be Party Animals. We'll see you on Wednesday for that. Be kind, people. Have a great next couple days and a great holiday season. See you then. Bye.